Good morning, my dear students. I hope you are doing well and taking good care of yourself. So, children, in this session, we'll discuss about the role of police in investigating a crime. Children, in the previous session, we have seen the story of Shanti versus Mr. and Mrs. Shinde. And because of shoddy investigation of Police Inspector S.I. Rao, Shanti has to spend time in jail. So, children, in this session, we will discuss about the role of police in investigating a crime and what guidelines they have to follow, like D.K. Basu guidelines. We will also discuss about the Article 22 of the Constitution and criminal law, which guarantees every arrested person some fundamental rights. Children, now we will discuss the role of police in investigating a crime. It is one of the most important function of police to investigate any complaint about the commission of crime. It is a responsibility, it is a duty of police to do the proper investigation of commission of a crime. Now, investigation includes recording statements of witnesses and collecting different kinds of evidences. And on the basis of this investigation, the police are required to form an opinion. And if the police think that the evidence points to the guilt of the accused person, then they file a charge sheet in the court. Children, we know it is not the job of police to decide whether the person is guilty or not. It is the court, it is the judge who will decide whether the person is guilty or not. But it is very important that the police should do the investigation properly. We have seen the case of Shanti, that because of the poor investigation done by the Police Inspector S.I. Rao, Shanti has to spend time in jail. So, police should do the investigation properly, following all the guidelines, following all the rules and regulations. We have also seen that Shanti's brother Sushil was abused and beaten up by the police inspector and other constables in the police station. So this should not happen. It is important that police should follow all the guidelines and instructions, rules, regulations. So we will discuss more about the role of police in investigating a crime. Children, we have learned about the rule of law. Rule of law means all persons are equal before the law. Nobody is above the law. And whosoever will violate the law will receive the same punishment. Law applies equally to all the persons, irrespective of their caste, background, religion, and even police investigations always have to be conducted in accordance with the law and with the full respect for human rights. Police has to follow all the guidelines that are issued by Supreme Court at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation. Now children, detention means arresting somebody for interrogation. Children, we have discussed that it is not the job of police to decide whether the person is a guilty or not. It is the job of the court, it is the job of the judge to decide whether the person is guilty or not. So investigations should be done in the proper manner, following all the rules, regulations, guidelines issued by the Supreme Court. Even police is not allowed to torture or beat or shoot anyone during investigation. Children, we have seen the case of Shanti. Her brother Sushil was beaten and tortured by police inspector and other constables in the police station. So this should not happen. So police should follow all the guidelines. They cannot inflict any form of punishment on a person even for petty offences. Means they cannot cause unpleasant or painful situation to be suffered by someone or something. Children, now according to the Article 22 of the Constitution and criminal law, it guarantees every arrested person the following fundamental rights. Now, the right to be informed at the time of arrest of the offense for which the person is being arrested. It is the duty of the police to inform the person about the crime for which they are arresting the person. The arrested person to be presented before the magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. Police has no right to torture or beat or ill-treat the arrested person, like we have seen in case of Shanti. Her brother Sushil was tortured, beaten up by the police inspector and other constables in the police station. So police has no right to beat or ill-treat the person whom they have arrested. Confessions made in the police custody cannot be used as a evidence against the accused. Children, in the Shanti's case, we have seen that police inspector was forcing the Shanti's brother Sushil to confess the crime. Even if the police will force the person, arrested person, to confess the crime, such confessions made in the police custody cannot be used as a evidence in the court. A boy under 15 years of age and woman cannot be called to the police station only for questioning. Children, Supreme Court of India has laid down some specific requirements and procedures that the police and other agencies have to follow for the arrest, detention and interrogation of any person. These are known as D.K. Basu guidelines, and some of these guidelines include: number 1, the police officials who carry out the arrest or interrogation should wear clear, accurate, visible identification. Means the person's the police who is arresting the person should have clear, accurate and visible identity card with his name and designation. Now, second guideline, a memo of arrest should be prepared at the time of arrest. Means it is the responsibility of the police to prepare the memo of arrest, which should include the time and date of arrest. It should also be attested by at least one witness who could include a family member of the person arrested. It means it is a right of every arrested person that his family member or relative should be informed about his arrest or detention or interrogation. And this arrest memo should be countersigned by the person arrested by police. Now, if relative or friend lives outside the district, the time, place of arrest, and venue of custody must be notified by police within 8 to 12 hours after arrest. It means if friend or relatives are living outside the district, again it is a responsibility, duty of the police that they should inform the relatives or friend of the arrested person within the 8 to 12 hours after his arrest about the time, place, and venue of custody. So, all the police officials have to follow these guidelines. Now, we will learn about FIR. So, what is FIR? FIR is First Information Report. Children, if you remember the case of Shanti, Mr. Shinde went to police station to file FIR about the theft in his house. Now, it is with the registration of an FIR, police can begin their investigation into the crime. According to law, it is compulsory for an officer in charge of a police station to register an FIR whenever a person gives information about a cognizable offense. Now, what is cognizable offense? Cognizable offense means an offense for which police may arrest a person without the permission of court. Now, children, there is a prescribed form in which the police will register an FIR. If you can see this slide, this is a prescribed form in which police will register an FIR, and it is signed by the complainant. Complainant means the person who is complaining about the crime. And the complainant also has a legal right to get a free copy of the FIR, that is First Information Report from the police. Now, this FIR usually mentions the date, time, and place of the offense, which is having the details of the offense, which describes the events. And if known, the identity of the accused persons and witness is also mentioned. It also states the name and address of the complainant. Now, children, this information can be given to police either orally or in writing. So, police can begin their investigation about the crime only after registration of an FIR. Children, now quickly we will recapitulate the things. Children, in this session we have discussed about the role of police in investigating a crime. So one of the most important function of the police is to investigate any complaint about the commission of a crime. An investigation includes recording statements of witnesses and collecting different kinds of evidences. And on the basis of investigation, the police are required to form an opinion. Children, we have also discussed that it is not the police who will decide whether the person is guilty or not. It is the court who will decide whether the person is guilty or not. Now, children, it is the most important duty, responsibility of the police to conduct investigation in accordance with the law and with the full respect for human rights. It is a responsibility of the police to follow all the guidelines issued by the Supreme Court, like DK Basu guidelines. DK Basu guidelines like police official should wear clear, accurate and visible identification. It means police should have proper identity card with their names and designation. Police should prepare a memo of arrest and the person arrested, detained or being interrogated has a right to inform a relative, friend or well-wisher. Now children, Article 22 of the Constitution and criminal law has guaranteed some fundamental rights to every arrested person. We have also discussed about these rights, like it is a right to be informed at the time of arrest of the offense for which the person is being arrested. Police cannot torture or beat the person during arrest or in custody. It is the right of the arrested person to be presented before a magistrate within 24 hours. A boy under 15 years of age and woman cannot be called to the police station only for questioning. Children, in this session we have also discussed about FIR. FIR means First Information Report. Police can begin their investigation only after the registration of an FIR. Now, children, about cognizable offense. Cognizable offense means an offense for which police may arrest a person without the permission of court. Children, I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you, children. Stay home, stay safe.